Drenched in blood and despair, one could be forgiven for thinking that everyone has reason to be depressed. Battles rage across a million worlds at any given moment. Enormous starships carrying billions might explode without warning. The entire human imperium is teetering on the brink of collapse, sustained only by fanatic devotion to a long dead-ad god, while its enemies include gods of chaos, swarms of living plague, and armies of warped monsters. In such a universe, hopelessness is the default setting. And yet today, we examine a seemingly odd claim that the Necrons are the only race suffering from depression. It sounds absurd at first, but Warhammer lore has a way of hiding truth in hyperbole. To find out why this dark joke might actually ring true, we must dive into the Necron story and the grim-dark atmosphere they inhabit. A war-worn observer would note, Warhammer's own creed declares it plainly, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. This sums up a place where hope is almost a myth. The sky above any given battle is likely orange with fire and ash. The ground is soaked in chemicals and extinction. The war machines stomp over corpses as triumphantly as toddlers march to cartoons. No one has the luxury to be content, let alone happy. Yet even in this galaxy of misery, something about the Necrons stands out, a silent sorrow behind their glowing green eyes. Why would the only race with immortality, empty time, and no real purpose be singled out as the only depressed ones? As ridiculous as it sounds, the answer lies in their unique tragedy. For the Necrons, the story begins millions of years before the events of 40K. The beings we now call Necrons were once the Necronter, a star-finged species of frail mortals whose short, painful lives were ruined by cosmic radiation. They envied other races who lived longer or could explore the stars without burning out. When the Necranti declared war on the Old Ones, ancient creators of life, out of spite, a turning point came. They were offered immortality by the Catan, star gods hungry for worship and power. They agreed to a terrible transformation called the biotransference in flaming bow furnaces. Each Necron tire was stripped of flesh and soul, reborn as a living metal skeleton, driven by cold logic. The universe gained legions of unstoppable warriors, but the Necrant gained something far more twisted than eternal life. They gained endless emptiness. When the biotransference was complete, the Necrons lost everything that had once made them sentient in a human way. Compassion, curiosity, the ability to love or dream, all of these were engineered out. Instead of beating hearts and warm blood, they now had dural and ceramite. Their memories of childhood or the taste of food became nothing more than corrupted data files, if they survived at all. Imagine believing eternal life is a dream come true, only to discover you can no longer laugh at a joke, cry for a loss, or even feel the warmth of the sun on your metal skin. Even the Necron overlords know deep down they traded away their humanity for immortality, and the trade-off was a lifetime of numbness. Now consider the results of this bargain. The Necrons were granted immortality. But at what price? Without the warmth of mortality, the concept of living lost all meaning. Time became a yawning void. They awakened millennia later on tomb worlds forgotten by history. Stars have been born and died, empires have exploded like fireworks, and countless strangers who once idolized them have decayed to dust. And yet the Necrons remain cold and unchanged. Their awakening is often written as a tragic event. Broken sarcophagi on dead worlds, machines rising from dust, no glory in their eyes. No one cheers for them. There are no liberators to greet their return. Instead, these undead legions find emptiness. Each tomb world is a mausoleum echoing with the hiss of machinery, not the warmth of family. When a Necron overlord looks up at alien skies, if he could feel wonder, he does not. If he remembers home, he only mourns silently. Stars have risen and died. Empires bloomed and crumbled, and yet they stand unchanging. Every sunrise is a cruel reminder of how much time has been lost. Even among their number, these undead nobles carry shadows of their former grief. Szarekh the Silent King is a prime example. Once High Lord of the Necront, he foresaw that their pact with the Satan would doom his people. In shame and foresight, He abandoned his throne just before the transference, sentencing himself to tens of millions of years in self-imposed exile. When he finally returns in modern times, he does not roar with joy or pride. Instead, he governs with a stately melancholy, an emperor returning home to find his empire turned to dust. He wages war not with the glee of conquest, but with the quiet dignity of a ruler seeking atonement. Behind every calculated strike he orders, one can imagine the Silent King thinking of